real numbers, page 1. This complete system is known as the real number system. So everything inside of this outer rectangle is the real number system. We're going to start from the very center of this one right over here. This is the natural numbers. Some people call them the counting numbers because it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like you're counting. The next one out is whole numbers. And the only difference between whole numbers and natural numbers is that you have the 0 and then you continue counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to infinity. Okay, right outside of whole numbers, you add integers. So integers include all of the natural numbers and 0 and all of your negative numbers. So you have -1, -2, -3, all the way to negative infinity. Then you have 0 in the middle, and then you have 1, 2, 3, all the way to positive infinity. The only thing that hasn't been accounted for yet is anything that can be written as a fraction or repeated decimal, and that's in the rational numbers. And so that includes 4.1, 1/2, -9, 7. Over here off to its side, the things that are not rational are irrational numbers. And basically they're numbers that cannot be written as a fraction, and they're decimals that never, don't have a repeating pattern and don't ever end. Some examples of that are pi and the square root of 2. Okay, so we're going to move to the second page. It says which point on the number line is closest to the approximate value of the square root of 75. If we want to find out the square root of 75, we can put that into our calculator. So we go here to our Inspire. From the home screen, we go to the calculator app. And we're going to type in the square root. So we do Control, and then the little button right here that says x squared on it. When you press Control first and then press that button, you'll get your square root. So we have the square root, and we need to put 75 inside. So 7, 5. We're going to hit enter. And the decimal approximation is 8.66025. So basically that number is just a little past 8.5. So if we look at our number line, we're looking for the one that's just past 8.5, and between 8 and 9, right, we have two answer choices. We have M, which is pretty close to 8, and we have N, which is, how many dashes do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 dashes in between. So those are going to be 0.2 apiece because it would be 8, and then 8.2, 8.4, 8.6, 8.8, and 9. And remember, we got 8.66, so this dot is just past the 8.6. So the answer choice is point N, which is H. Okay. Number 2 says, on which number line does point P best represent the approximate value of pi times the square root of 5? So this time we're going to go back to the calculator. And we need to type in pi times the square root of 5. So we're going to start with the pi button, which is this little symbol right down here. The bottom left corner, there's a little pi button. And when you do that, it pops up a menu and you choose pi. Then you're going to type square root, Control, and then the x squared button. And then the 5 goes inside the square root. When we press enter, it gives us 7.02. So basically just barely on the right of 7. So when I look here, this is before 6. That's not correct. On G, it's almost to 8. That's way too far. Remember, it was 7.02, so it's just a hair past 7. On H, it's not even past 7. It's all the way over here, so that's not correct. And on J, there it is. It's just a smidge past 7, so that's our correct answer choice. And that answer choice is J. Okay, so that's it for that second page. We're going to go on to page 3. It says, which diagram best represents the relationships among rational numbers, irrational numbers, and real numbers? Remember on our Venn diagram, I'm going to go back to the first page for a second. We have rational, and we have right here, we have rational. And inside of rational, we have all of these other things, but they're not mentioned in the question. The question wants to talk about rational, irrational, and real. And so the main outer circle is real, and then inside of real, you have irrational and rational separately. So if we go look at our thing here, irrational does not go inside of rational. So answer choice A is not going to be your answer, because it has irrational inside of rational. Okay, so we go look at answer choice B. It has rational as the main title and then real over here. That's incorrect. These two are switched. Okay, so when we go letter C, it's got real and then irrational, and inside of rational, inside of irrational is rational. If these are rational, they can't also be irrational, so this is incorrect. Answer choice D has real, and then it has rational and irrational separately, and that is the way you would write that question's answer. So it's answer choice D. Okay, looking at number 4. Number 4 says Nikita drew the Venn diagram below to classify 10 different numbers. The shaded part of the diagram best represents, and then they have their answer choices. If we look at our diagram, she's got 0 inside, she's got 11, she's got -2. So it can't be whole numbers or natural numbers because they have negatives. But it doesn't have any of these decimals or fractions. So this inside right here has to be integers. Because it has negatives and 0 and positives, but it doesn't have the decimals and the fractions. So the shaded part of the diagram best represents integers as a subset of rational numbers. Whole numbers as a subset of rational numbers. It's not the whole numbers. You can't have negatives. Rational numbers is a subset of integers. Rationals are not a subset. What that means is that rationals would be inside of integers. That is incorrect. Or irrational numbers as a subset. That doesn't even show irrational numbers. So J is not correct. So the only possible answer choice is F. Okay, you have an assignment to do for today, so good luck. And if you have any questions, email your teacher. Thank you.